Okay, this question is regarding competitors choosing between the Olympia and the Arnold, and why the very few do both, particularly the top guys. Most of the top 6 guys have it set in their mind that they're going to win the Olympia, or that they can win the Olympia. And if they don't win the Olympia, they can move up. Like Dexter can beat Roden, Roden can beat Dexter, Rowley can beat Dexter, Bonac can beat Roden, you know, Bonac can beat Rami. So their main focus is the Olympia, to get to that number 1 spot. And their main drive is to go and beat these guys. Beat Phil and be number 1. And it's so difficult to peak twice a year. It really is. And this person just asked me, why do you do both? Why have you? I've done both 5 years in a row. I did 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And only once did I nail it at the Arnold. And that was the year I won. So that's a good good evidence right there as to how difficult it is. I was top 5 in all of them. I was 5th twice, 2nd once, 3rd once, and I won it once. But that's just a testament of to how difficult it is to peak twice a year. And that's why you don't see the top guys. Roden, Dexter's a freak, so he doesn't even count. Rowley, a lot of these, Rami, a lot of them not doing it, particularly Phil. He's got nothing to really win by doing the Arnold. That's just more stress on his body, less rest. He has less time to rest for his following Olympia. And same goes with Flex Lewis. He only did the Arnold because he wanted to be the first 212 Arnold champ, which he was. And Flex is motivated by goals and stats and milestones and landmarks and legacies, which I really respect. And records and things like that were meant to be broken. Things were meant to be done by someone, and he's the champ for a reason. But the rest of us, mere mortals, need to get our own piece of the pie too. So that's why we end up doing the Arnold. Try to win that. Try to get that's a good title. And then it's the other only biggest show in the world, where even if you're in second, you still get 10 grand, which is good for 212. That's why I always did it. I wanted to win. And I love competing. That is the number one thing. And I bet if you ask Dexter too, he just loves competing. He's loved pushing his body and putting on a good show and showing what can be done, what is possible. And he's done a hell of a job at doing that. And that's I've always competed a lot, even as an amateur. When I used to do the USAs, then the Team Universe, then the Nationals, I would do that every year as an amateur for many years. And now I've averaged between 4 and 6 shows a year as a pro for 10 years. So I just enjoy the competing. If I were Phil, if I were Flex, and I was winning that big check, particularly Phil, if I was winning that big boy, would I risk because you lose almost 4 months of rest, more, 4 or 5 months of rest that you could be resting to that prep for the Arnold. So for Phil, I don't blame him whatsoever. Same thing with Flex. He has a lot of business obligations, traveling and appearances, that he can make up that money if he were to win the Arnold. He makes more traveling and doing appearances, so he doesn't need to be dieting and competing. So But from what I've heard, I'm pretty sure there is no 212 Arnold this year. That's a shame, because we've worked really hard to create a good division. All the athletes, I'm not sure what came first, the chicken or the egg. What came first, the Arnold not wanting the 212s, or not enough 212s getting off their ass and competing. I don't know which one it is. But I will never be a member of that particular group of the ones who didn't compete enough. I've supported the division, I've supported the IFBB by competing as much as I can and putting on a show as well as I can. So I encourage everyone to compete as much as you can afford. If it's changing your life and you can't pay your light bill, don't compete. But if you can't feed your kids and whatever. But if you're doing well and things are good, compete. You're a pro. That's what you do. You love it. You love it for a reason. You've been doing it for a reason. So get out and do it. Support the shows that support you. So that's it. If I were Phil, I wouldn't do the Arnold either. Everyone else, Rami, he's crazy for not doing it every year. I would do it. But I understand what his goal is. He wants to take out Phil. So he needs the rest too. That's it. That's how I can make sense of it.
Alright, this is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. Alright?